Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Hunnewell Field here in Wellesley. As for the 130th year, it is the oldest high school football rivalry in the country, the Wellesley Raiders and the Needham Rockets. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving, and welcome to today's coverage on both Wellesley Media and the Needham Channel. I'm Robbie Johnson, along with Carl Schofield. Carl, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Robbie.
So, Needham, 6-4 coming into the year, lost a tough playoff game to Severian. Just sort of take us through this Needham season a little bit for us.
Needham's had a pretty good year. They lost their first game. They came back to win, qualified for the playoffs as a number 2 seed. They ran into Brockton in the first match. Big school, tough game. They won that one in overtime, but then they get into the buzzsaw, Severian getting into the Super Bowl. They're just bigger and stronger, and that's just going to be a challenge for us. When you look at the Needham team, the success for this team is going to really be dependent on that offensive line, whether they can protect Ogletree, the quarterback, and whether they can get some holes open for Odari Hibberts to get some running game going. That's going to be the key for this team and their chances against Wellesley today.
And Wellesley coming in at 5-5 on the year, has some quarterback issues of their own, as it'll actually be Matt Mayona starting today as Jack Tishman out with a knee injury, which is too bad your senior year. Obviously you want to start the Thanksgiving game, but unfortunately Tishman not in today. And obviously for the seniors in this rivalry, this is a day that they're going to remember for a long, long time. You know, last high school football game coming up here.
And I think it's great the way they do it at this rivalry. They introduce all the seniors from both teams, so there's not, there's not just the home team being focused on. It really is about both the teams. And it's always they come out together as a team.
Yeah.
All the seniors, arm in arm, coming out to midfield. It's a good thing to see. And you're right, this is the last high school football game. It's melancholy for a lot of these kids. It's exciting, and you couldn't have a better rivalry, number 130.
Yeah, 130th meeting, and first meeting on the new turf field here at Wellesley High School, as we were talking about before the game, Carl. I mean, just 2 years ago when Wellesley was supposed to be the home team, we were at Fenway Park, and now we get to come back to this lovely turf field, and it's a great sight to finally be able to play a Thanksgiving game here, because certainly a lot of hard work went into this, and it's really a great product.
And as a Needham parent, I can tell you we are very happy to see the turf field. The last time we were here, it was actually my son's sophomore year and his first start in a Thanksgiving Day game, and as a defensive back, he couldn't keep his feet on that field. It was all mud. He came home, he was just covered and caked in mud. Not to mention the fact that it was about 15 degrees that day. Were the most uncomfortable days of my life. Got the coin toss going on out there right now.
And another thing that I really like about this, rivalry, you were talking about the senior introductions, but also for the coin toss, all the seniors, they come out and they sort of stand behind the captains, and a beautiful day for football here. A little bit chilly, as it always seems to be on Thanksgiving, but the sun is shining. We are very excited to go here at Wellesley with a 61-59 lead with 9 ties in this rivalry. Wellesley won last year's game 34-14 over at Needham. So Needham looking for a little bit of payback on Wellesley's home field this year, Carl.
Absolutely. You see Jack Tishman out there, one of the captains for Wellesley, quarterback for the team on the crutches out there. Got a little bit of a bad knee, and that is why we have Matt Mayona coming in.
Mayona.
I'm going to mess that one up all day. They're ready to go.
Yeah, sophomore Matt Mayona getting the start, and what a time to get your first varsity start on Thanksgiving against your arch rival. Yeah, as a quarterback. So
no pressure on him though.
No, not at all. So that'll be a something key to watch out for. And both these teams very, very similar numbers-wise. Wellesley coming in averaging about 17.4 points per game, giving up 16. And then Needham coming in here, having a little trouble fumbling through my notes here.
Well, the wind behind us isn't helping at all.
But Needham, again, very similar in the note column. Here we go. They are coming in averaging 15.1 points per game and giving up 17.8. So like I said, very similar numbers for both these teams, and very similar records, as we said. Wellesley 6-4. Needham 6-4. Wellesley 5-5. So Wellesley looking for a 500 record. Needham will have a above 500 record either way, but still, obviously, would love to get that 7th win on Thanksgiving again. After what you said, two tough losses: a semifinal loss in the sectionals to Severian, and then a loss to BC High. But I mean,
those playing 2 college teams
right.
back to back.
Exactly. So Wellesley will kick off here.
Got John Andre Deke for the Rockets, number 21. Along with John back there is number 3, Odari Hibberts.
And then we've got Kevin Canaday doing the kicking here for the Raiders. So we're just about ready to go here. The kick is away. It is a short kick.
That's taken by
Picked up
Hirsch.
at about the 30. That was number 11 there, Garrett Hirsch, on the return. So he will be met right around the 35-yard line. And so that's where Needham will take over to start this one under the direction of quarterback Charlie Ogletree. Someone might want to stop the game clock. It is still rolling.
Well, that's okay. We want it is cold, so we're not going to complain about that. But I think right there on that kickoff, it gave you a sense of what Wellesley's already trying to do. The 2 key offensive players for the Rockets outside of Charlie Ogletree in that offensive line, John Andre, number 21, Odari Hibberts, number 3. Those are the guys that provide much of the punch for this team and have done it all year long and will continue to do it.
So Ogletree out of the gun, as Needham will be moving from left to right on your television screens. Ogletree back to throw. His pass is caught there by number 80. That's Matt Smith, and he gets up close to the first down there. Pick up about 9 yards, it looks like. So a good first down passing play there between Ogletree and Smith, a pair of juniors hooking up on that one.
Smith, the younger brother of Brendan Smith, a graduate from last year, about not quite as big as his brother. His brother's about 6'6", 6'7". Matt Smith goes a good 6'5", and I got to say he's probably a good solid 230, and it's all muscle.
So an 8-yard pickup on the play will be 2nd down and 2. They call a ball about the 43-yard line. A handoff. That is
that was number 18.
That was Nolan Riley on the ball carry, and he is stopped just short of the first down. So bring up a 3rd down and about inches here for the Rockets. So the Raiders here, I'm sure, would love to get an early 3-and-out, as again it'll be 3rd down and 1 at the 44 coming up.
This is where you'd see Tom Brady just take the quick snap and just push his body over. Not sure. I've seen the Rockets do that a number of times.
And we have a whistle here, and we are going to get a timeout Needham, as obviously head coach Dave Duffy sort of wanting to talk things over with his quarterback. So
that was a quick and early timeout. He must have seen something out there. The clock wasn't going down, the play clock. They had plenty of time still. He must have seen something out there he just didn't like.
So, well, they get 5 timeouts per half in high school football, so might as well use all of them.
The never-ending half of football when they call those 10 timeouts. The nice thing is, at least they're not, there's that quarterback.
Oh, and Ogletree with the quarterback keeper, and looks to have the first down. So we're pushing ahead there, and does, in fact, have the first down. So the Rockets will move the chains here, as it'll be 1st and 10 ball at their own 45-yard line.
Tell you what, it looked like he got a lot more than he did on that. I thought he was, his legs were churning and churning and churning, but he only ended up getting about just barely the yard he needed to get that first down. So you're going to see the Rockets throw a lot. They like to throw the ball. And if Ogletree has time, if that offensive line can keep him clean, the kid can throw the ball. He's got a good arm, he can throw it deep, and he's pretty accurate.
As we see Ogletree back to throw,
and as I said, he throws it 3 yards behind Andre.
Yeah, pass was intended there for John Andre, a little bit behind him, so that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. It's the Rockets using that sort of spread offense there with Ogletree out of the gun, single man in the backfield. And like I said, this Wellesley defense only allowing about 16 points per game, but still have allowed some big numbers this year as opposed to other years, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Hopefully one of the keys for Wellesley defense, they're probably not wanting to allow the big play, because I know that's something Needham does very well. There's a handoff here to Andre, and he is pushing ahead into Wellesley territory. Looks to have a good, at least 6-yard pickup on the play, so I'll bring up a 3rd down and short here for the Rockets.
And that's a pretty typical formation you'll see for the Rockets, with Andre either getting it on the jet sweep or with a fake on the jet sweep, at which point they'll either try and do a counter up the middle, or you'll see Ogletree throw some kind of pass off of that. So they use that formation, they use that set quite a bit, just as a way to first to check and see what kind of defense Wellesley might be in, but also to kind of keep them on their toes and keep them honest.
So it'll be 3rd down and 2. They call it a pickup of 8. Again, the Rockets into Needham territory here at the Wellesley 46, as they send a man in motion there. Ogletree takes the snap, give up the middle, and
that's Riley.
Being pushed backwards there is Riley. May have picked up a yard on the play, but regardless, it's going to break up a 4th down, and now a bit of a decision here for Coach Duffy and the Rockets. Will they keep Ogletree out on the field here and go for it early?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's one thing Coach Duffy likes to do. He has no fear of trying to put the pressure on. And they're in it's a kind of no man's land. What they're going to get, they're going to pick up, what, 15, 20 yards if they punt anyhow? He's got confidence in that defense. And he knows he's going against a sophomore quarterback in his first start.
So 4th down and 1, ball at the 45. Ogletree out of the gun, takes the snap, gives it to Riley. He bounces it outside, and he is going to be hit, but
I don't know.
cannot make the tackle.
Looks
and
like he's got
take it down. I think he may have slipped away for enough for the 1st down.
And that was O'Dari Hibberts, who used a little bit of burst of speed to get around the lineman. He got a little great job there by Hibberts, because there was not a whole lot of blocking. It was like a jailbreak by those defensive linemen. But Hibberts is quick. He's just a sophomore. He's had a nice year this year.
Hibberts on the carry, excuse me. But yeah, they do pick up the 1st down. So the Rockets again able to move those chains here early, as it'll be 1st down and 10, ball at about the Wellesley 44-yard line.
Now Hibberts, you'll see how he's in the slot right now. They put him in a lot of different positions. They have him in the slot probably 75% of the time. They have him in the backfield the rest.
Ogletree looking over the middle. He's got Andre. John Andre trying to get by the final man, and is Mayone actually, who comes up to make the touchdown saving tackle. But again, that's that big play we were talking about. Andre wide open over the middle there, and we'll take it down inside the Wellesley, looks like 10-yard line.
Right around the 10 or 11. And that was, he hit Andre right in stride. That's a good throw by Ogletree. Andre had about a half a step on Mayona. Is that how you say it?
Mayona, yeah.
See, I'm not going to get it. Mayona. I'll get it before the end of the day. Mr. and Mrs. Mayona, I'm sorry already.
So 1st down and 10 they call it, so Needham can pick up another 1st down. As again, Ogletree out of the gun, Riley in the backfield. Ogletree to throw, and he completes it to Andre, and he could just walk in for the end zone. Touchdown, Needham.
And I tell you, I'm looking for a flag on the play, because one thing I saw out there is number 88, Jack Murmis, put a nice little pick play on the Wellesley defender out there to give Andre that wide opening. But I see no flags, so we're going to call that a touchdown.
No flags on the play, so it's 6:20 to go in the 1st. Needham on the board here first, as they are able to drive down the field for the touchdown. Now it'll be Alex Sliney in to attempt the extra point here. And a very good drive there for the Rockets, Carl. I mean, they had, what was it, they had faced a 3rd down, a 4th down, and were able to convert both times. And Ogletree hooking up with Sliney, and that one's blocked. And they can return it. That's a nice block, and that might be 2 points.
We'll see if
there he goes. They're going to try to catch him.
And they're not
going to chase. No, they're not going to catch him. It is going to be 2 points for Wellesley. Wow.
You don't
what
see
a
that
turn
a lot.
of event. No, what a turn of events right there. As I believe that was Josh Cohen with the return there for the 2 points. So Wellesley with a little bit of magic of their own right there. Wow. Yeah, wow is all you can say on that one. Kind of a low kick right into that defensive front. And Cohen was able to pick up and outrun the Needham special teams there for the 2 points.
You're 100% on a low kick. That thing didn't get more than 3 or 4 feet off the ground the whole way. And it wasn't one guy that jumped up and blocked it. It literally probably went into the entire line.
Certainly. So again, a big break there for Wellesley. Now not only do they cut the lead to 6-2, but they will get the football back here as well on the kickoff. So
it was funny, before we got on camera, we were talking a little bit about some of the early scores in the Needham-Wellesley matchups. 1-0, 4-0. This is kind of one of those weird scores right now, 6-2. You don't see that too often.
No, you do not, but that certainly got the Wellesley bench revved up after, that touchdown drive by Needham certainly helped to quell that momentum. So we'll see, as now Sliney will look to kick off here. Is back deep for Wellesley. I believe it's
tough to see those numbers.
Yeah, it's tough to see the numbers in the sun, folks. So as Sliney's kick is a short kick, and ball's loose on the ground, but picked up by Teddy Darcy, it looks like.
14, Darcy.
So
not only did that 2 point get the bench going. It got the crowd going over here. And trust me, being a Needham guy stuck in the middle of all these Wellesley people, this is a tough assignment I've been given today.
Yeah, but we have a really good crowd on hand here. The stands are full to capacity on both sides, and like always with this rivalry, you got fans spread all the way around the field here.
Yep.
And so a great day for football as Wellesley will take over 1st and 10 at about their own 30-yard line under the direction, as we said, of sophomore quarterback Matt Mayona. Wellesley running sure that option spread based offense. They have 3 receivers split out wide, man in motion. They give on the pitch outside, and that's Deontay Moore on the carry. It looked like the ball may have come out there at the end, but they're going to say he was down by contact. So Deontay Moore getting a good gain there on 1st down will bring up about 2nd down and 1.
Yeah, a good pickup, 8 or 9 yards there for sure. Yeah, I think that ball did come out, but after he kind of got thrown down on his back, and when he hit, the ball popped loose.
And Carl, who should we be looking for Needham defensively as we go through this first drive here?
Well, this year the defensive backs have gotten a lot of play. The ball's been in the air a lot against the Rockets. You got Hickey, number 24, Sklar, number 22, and the other guy that's been seeing a lot of action this year is Palmentier, number 23. Those are the 3 guys.
Pitch out here, this time to Shiloh White, and he's still on his feet, and he gets down to around midfield, picks up the 1st down. So Shiloh White, only a freshman, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. So it certainly has made a name for himself during this season, and now getting a taste of Thanksgiving as, just like I said, just a freshman year.
That was Jonah Kirker on the tackle there. Solid hit.
So it'll be 1st and 10. They spot the ball at the Wellesley 48-yard line. Get about 6 minutes gone here in this opening quarter, and already a lot of fireworks. 6-2 as Needham scores a touchdown, but then has the PAT blocked as a give there. That was, I believe, Moore, and he went nowhere, as may have gone back to the original line of scrimmage, but definitely got stood up there by that Needham defensive front on that one.
So, Robbie, having not seen Wellesley play this year, they split their wide receivers very wide out on the field. Is that just to give a smaller number of people to stop the running game, or do they throw the ball?
Yeah, no, they definitely throw the ball. And it'll be interesting to see with Tishman out today and Mayona and a quarterback, sort of how much they keep the ball on the ground, because Deontay Moore and Shiloh White are both very talented backs. So we see here White with the run up the middle, stays on his feet, he picks up the 1st down, and it's into Rocket territory across the 40-yard line. So again, Shiloh White kind of pumped up there, getting a little bit rowdy after that play. But regardless, the Raiders moving the ball here themselves, and in no small part again, Shiloh White, just a freshman, and looking like a veteran out there on those first couple runs.
And there's nothing special that Wellesley's doing right here. These are just handoffs right up the middle. And the Rockets defense is getting out blocked and missing some tackles.
Certainly. So 1st and 10 in Rocket territory here. Ball spotted at about the 37-yard line, they're going to call it. Mayona takes the snap, pitch outside. Again, it's White. He bounced outside, that time goes nowhere. Looks like he got stopped for loss on the play. Good containment there by the Rockets as they throw White back there for a loss of about 1 on the play.
Now Wellesley front line, they got some size on that offensive line. At least 3 of those guys going close to 250, 6'2", 6'3". Good size offensive line here for a high school football game.
Certainly Josh Cohen, Michael Hershelman, and Gus St. Ford sort of anchoring that line. And you're right, 2 of those guys between 250 and 280 in terms of the weight department. So well, as a 2nd down 11, ball spotted back at the 38-yard line.
I think we'll see a little bit of a throw here from Mayona. No,
yeah, play action. Mayona back to throw, being chased, and he is going to be sacked back at around the 45-yard line. Mayona tried to get some separation there to throw, but the Needham defense front converged there quickly, and he was taken down for a big loss. That'll bring up a 3rd down very long here for the Raiders.
Almost 20 to go, but that was just there was a missed assignment on that front line because the Rockets were in there quickly. I don't know if they were trying to throw a quick screen pass that just never materialized, but they were all in there right off the bat on Mayona.
So 3rd down 18, they will call it. Ball back to the 45 of Needham. As again, we go under 2 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. Wellesley, I'm sure here would love a conversion. I'm sure this will be a passing down, as now it looks like it's going to be Wellesley taking a timeout, as Coach Jesse Davis wanting to discuss things here, as his Raiders, as we said, facing a 3rd down and very long.
We're already down under 2 minutes. So, you know, you go into the MIAA playoffs, they move from 12-minute quarters down to 11-minute quarters. They carried it over to the Thanksgiving Day game. So it seems like the time will go a little bit quicker.
Yeah, definitely a...
I guess it doesn't seem like it. It actually is quicker because it's a minute shorter.
It is definitely a shorter time and definitely fewer plays, fewer drives, and so let's see what Wellesley elects to do here. 3rd down 18.
So, Robbie, Thanksgiving Day is always a special time in my house. I have a quick question for you. As we're waiting for this 3rd and long, what is your favorite Thanksgiving Day food?
What is my favorite? Oh, that is a good question.
Is it not turkey? Is that?
I'm more of a stuffing, like pumpkin pie, like bread type of guy myself, but I'll say this. Oh, there's
nice
a little screen pass out of the white, makes a good one-handed catch, but certainly it's not going to get anywhere near the 1st down, but does pick up a few yards on that play. But to answer your question, Carl, I mean, there's no food that doesn't taste good on Thanksgiving. How about you?
I'm the traditional guy. You toss me up some turkey and some mashed potatoes, some stuffing, some corn with a bunch of gravy on top of it. I will sit there and smile all day.
So Wellesley will punt here. Justin Lindquist back deep to do the punting. A low snap, but does get the kick away.
That's going to have some bounce to it, too.
He had Andre back there receiving, Andre and
Hickey.
Connor Hickey. And so Wellesley's going to down the ball here right around the 10-yard line. So that's where Needham will take over for their 2nd drive with 1 minute exactly showing on the clock.
So that's it, just pumpkin pie and stuffing.
I mean, no, but well, bread. I like cranberry sauce. I like I said, I gotta be honest, folks. I am not a big turkey guy.
Really?
I've never.
So what do you have? Ham?
Yeah, I've had ham before.
Hamburgers?
Ham. Yeah,
Order pizza?
No, I don't like ham. Like I'll usually eat turkey on Thanksgiving, but I don't know. There's just never been a big.
But you like stuffing?
I love stuffing.
Do you put the stuffing in the turkey in your house? Pitch over to Andre on the sweep.
Yep, here's Andre on the outside and
stays in bounds, gets it up to the 12, maybe a pickup of 1. But great job by Wellesley defense there, just stringing the play out and giving Andre no options.
He was not able to get a whole lot on that one. Like you said, maybe picked up a yard on the play.
Clock stops with 49 seconds to go.
Yeah, so we'll see here if this Wellesley defense, I'm sure after, the first Needham drive, I'm sure they'd love to get off the field a lot quicker this time, maybe get a little 3 and out here as, again, 2nd and 9 from the 11 as we have Ogletree now with 2 backs in the backfield. And 2 receivers split out wide to the near side. Ogletree back to throw. He's taking the pressure. He throws it. It's picked off.
And that's
picked off, and that could be a pick 6. Diving up the goal line. It's in for a touchdown. Deontay Moore came right over the middle, picked it off, and just able to stretch that ball over the pylon for a pick 6. And just like that, with 35 seconds to go in the first quarter, Wellesley with its first lead of the day, 8-6.
And I honestly didn't see a wide receiver within 3 or 4 yards of where that throw went. That's been one of the bugaboos that the Rockets have seen this year is the turnover, whether it's been put on the ground, but more often it's been the interception. And Moore did a good job. He was the only one there and did a nice job getting it into the end zone.
Certainly, and so Kevin Canaday here on to attempt the extra point, and that certainly, we thought that the 2-point conversion, the 2-point block, the last drive, that kick is no good.
Just wide left.
So Canaday unfortunately unable to convert, but still Wellesley with the 8-6 lead right now. Again, 35 seconds to go in this opening quarter, and certainly right now it's the Wellesley defense and special teams, Carl, that is doing the damage as they get after Needham's first touchdown, a blocked PAT for 2 points, and then the pick 6 there by Deontay Moore. Wellesley now hopefully if you're Wellesley, you want to get the offense going a little bit, but still good to see their defense stepping up big here in the early going.
And on that throw, there's a little bit of pressure on Ogletree, but not something that should have caused that kind of throw. Not sure if a receiver ran the wrong route or what might have happened there, but there really was not a receiver anywhere close to where that pass ended up going.
No, it looked like he was just trying. I mean, he was taking a little bit of pressure, like you said. It looked like he was just trying to get rid of the ball and maybe force something that wasn't there. But a good job there by Moore of reading that perfectly and again returning it for the touchdown. And as now Wellesley will kick off again. We'll see if they do that short kickoff. Yes, they do. As again another kickoff to the up back here.
Great coverage too.
Yeah, that was Hirsch again on the return, and he is brought down by Justin Lindquist and Davis Atala on the tackle. So good coverage there by the Wellesley. But Needham is going to get good field position here, right at about their own 30-yard line.
Yeah. How about hot dogs? Would you do hot dogs at Thanksgiving dinner? Just saw a kid with a hot dog with mustard on it.
If they served hot dogs at Thanksgiving dinner, I would eat hot dogs. That
would be your choice. What about turkey hot dogs? Would that mess you up a little bit?
I don't know if I've ever had a turkey hot dog. Oh, and there's a run up the middle and going nowhere there. That was Riley on the carry.
That's going to be the last play of the first quarter. The Rockets are going to try and lick their wounds a little bit and figure out what to do. The running game's not getting them a whole lot. They've had a couple of nice passes to get the touchdown, but
yeah, certainly. And so that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. We will stay with you here, folks, though, as after the first it is Wellesley 8, Needham 6, as the teams will change ends here. And Carl, I mean, that first quarter, you went by very quickly, but not without some fireworks, as Needham goes down first drive, puts one in the end zone. Wellesley gets a blocked PAT, gets an interception, and all of a sudden we have we were talking about weird scores at the beginning.
Yeah.
8-6 is the score. It sounds more like a baseball score than a football score, but here we are.
8-6 with 2 missed extra points, but 1 that's returned. But you called it right a few minutes ago, and you said it's been the special teams and defense so far for the Raiders. That 2-point conversion was blocked and returned really did seem to change the momentum very quickly.
Yeah. And also like we said, you know, Needham unfortunately with another miscue there with the pick 6. So we'll see what the Rockets could do offensively here, as they'll start the second quarter with a second down and 10 at their own 31-yard line. And you know, we were talking about, you know, how this is, you know, one of the oldest high school football rivalries in the country, and on this Thanksgiving Day, a ton of Thanksgiving Day rivalries going on, not just around the state, but around just the Bay State Conference. I mean, we'll get to after this play. Ogletree back over the middle and picked off again. Hugh Callahan, and he will be taken down. Wow, that pass was intended for Andre, and Callahan just going up there and making quite the grab there for the interception. Again, that Wellesley defense coming up at the end. Another turnover, and they're going to get the football back in Needham territory.
And that was just too high. Andre is not real tall. He goes about 5'8", and Ogletree just threw that about 6'5", and not really a chance to do anything. You're looking at Callahan, who's about 5'11". That 3 inches difference on that kind of throw.
So let's see. Well, if Wellesley's offense can put something together here. Again, with a bit of a shorter field here, though, they'll say the ball's at the Needham 47-yard line. Wellesley went three now on their. No, actually they didn't. They got a couple first downs. My mistake is they pitch it outside here. Two more. Moore gets off one tackle, then is knocked out of bounds there after a short gain.
That was John Marshall knocking him out of bounds, number 26. But he picked up about 5 on the play.
Yeah, picked up about. I thought it was a shorter gain than that, but yeah, it'll be second down and about 5 called at the Needham 42-yard line.
He had number 44, James Jordan, try and go low to take Moore down, and about 3 yards back, but couldn't get him. Didn't wrap him up. Gave Moore the chance to pick up those extra few yards.
And again, Wellesley going a lot to the ground here. Why not when you've got backs like Moore and White? I mean, they've been doing the damage so far, as that time it was White on the carry. He got stood up after a short gain there. So bring up a third down and short. But Wellesley not going really to the air all that much here, and we'll see if they continue sort of that that ground and pound attack as we go through here, or if Coach Davis elects to maybe go to the air a little bit more. You saw more of an air game with Tishman, but obviously with a fresh quarterback, you know, you just don't know what you're going to get. So we'll see as we go along here.
Yeah, so far Miano has only tried to drop back twice. Once was a sack and once was just kind of a dump off.
And we have some movement there. I don't see a flag as the pass is incomplete. That was intended for Sam Ronchetti.
Interesting. I could have sworn that Needham had jumped on that one. I thought that was going to be the quick, easy.
Yeah, I thought we do have a. So no flags on the play. So bring up a 4th down.
4th and 3.
4th and 3. And let's see now. This is Wellesley's turn to sort of have a decision to make here. It looks like they will keep the offense on the field.
That pass was broken up by Aaron Gordon, number 2. Gordon was the hero of the Brockton first playoff game with the interception in the end zone in overtime. And we've got another timeout for Wellesley.
Timeout Wellesley. They want to sort of discuss things here again on a 4th down and 3. A big chance here for the Needham defense, maybe get a little bit of that momentum back after back-to-back turnovers by the Needham offense. So
we've got 9:45 to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah.
I guess the highlight of that is there's only 7 more timeouts to go before we can get to halftime.
Sure, yeah. So yeah, because Wellesley has used 2 of theirs so far, and Needham has used 1 of theirs. So
I'm thinking that maybe they're asking the questions in those timeouts like I just asked you, what's your favorite Thanksgiving dinner?
Yeah, instead of discussing the play call, they're just talking about what meals they're going to be having.
Wellesley's decided to punt.
Oh, okay, so here's Lindquist. We'll be back deep to do the punting. So obviously Coach Davis deciding against going for it here. So it looks like it'll be, is that Andre back deep there to receive? Oh no, they run a fake. And
it's going to be
awfully close. Wellesley indicating first down, Needham indicating a first down, and
but I think
they're going to say first down Wellesley. Wow.
You know,
so they run the fake punt to perfection right there.
Honestly, I was a little surprised they weren't going for it normally, fake or not, because their defense has stepped up and played very, very well today. And with that positioning on the field, I wouldn't have had any problems going for it as a head coach.
Well, they, in their own way, do go for it there. So bring up a first down and 10.
Was that John Garvey on that run?
That was John Garvey on the. You are correct. Is now Mayona back out here. So first down and 10 is a little flea flicker. He's going deep, and it is caught, pulled in there by Callahan. What a reception. He had a defender draped all on him on that one, but able to go up and pull down the reception, and it'll bring up a first down for Wellesley inside the Needham 10-yard line.
And they went, they're going hurry up here, and they also kind of did a little bit of a flea flicker there.
Yeah, handoff to White on that one as Wellesley sort of hurrying to the line on that one as White is tackled for no gain. But yeah, a little flea flicker. Coach Davis
pulling out all the stuff.
Yeah, Coach Davis going into the bag of tricks right there, and it works. It's again, Callahan, much like he did on the interceptions, sort of going up and getting that football and able to hang on to it going to the ground.
So fake punt, flea flicker, right, almost back to back.
So it'll be second down and goal at the 8, they call it. So Wellesley knocking on the door here, trying to extend this lead.
It is a perfect day for football.
It is.
Absolutely gorgeous.
And the wind has died down, so we're not as cold as we were. There's White up the middle.
Oh, he's hitting, taking down.
And picks up maybe about 3 yards on the play, so bring up a third down goal from about the 5. But you're right, Carl. I mean, you could not have asked for a better day for the 130th game as opposed to, you know, last year I remember it was cold. It was like raining / snowing at times. It was not a fun day, weather-wise to be at Needham's Memorial Field. But today, like you said, just picture perfect.
This is kind of like what the weather was like on the Fenway Park game, too.
Yeah, no, that was great weather, too. So.
And then the year before that, we had the 5 or 6 inches of snow that came out overnight.
As a pitch outside here to White, he's got room to run, and he is in for a touchdown.
It was really weird. We were in a great position to see that. It looked like it was completely blocked off. The defense was right there, and then all of a sudden,
this big hole opened up, and Shiloh White gets into the end zone from 5 yards out, and Wellesley again, taking advantage of the big play from Mayona to Callahan, and with 7:10 to go in the second quarter, it is now a 14-6 Raider lead, and they will attempt the extra point once again.
You know, I'd like to say that this is a bend but don't break Needham defense, but they've broken a lot this year.
The kick is up, it looks good, and that one is good. So again, 7:10 to go in the opening half, and it is now a 2-score game, as it is 15-6. Wellesley on top, and Carl, if you're Needham offensively now, you need a big drive and try to get support that, but most of all, do not turn the ball over.
I think that's the key right now. They've got to get some short, quick passes that'll allow Ogletree to get some confidence back. He's got to be shaken a little bit with those 2 picks that he's thrown the last couple times he's dropped back. And they were just, you know, poor throws both times.
Certainly, like I was saying before, again, this is the 130th game for this rivalry, but you look just around the Bay State Conference, Carl, you got Natick, Framingham, you got Newton North, Brookline, all games that have been played for over 100 years. Just a special time of year, you know, in Massachusetts high school football, where you get all these great rivalries, even with the new playoff format, all that aside, you know, you get all these great rivalries around the state, and this one, I mean, obviously, selfishly, we think that this one is the best, but there's a lot of other good ones out there, that's for sure.
Well, I think this is the best because you usually have 2 quality football teams. When you talk about
another short kick, and
it's recovered. When you talk about Newton North, Brookline, not really good football there.
Yeah.
Framingham, not really good football.
Natick, I think Natick has a bit of an advantage there.
But I just want to clarify one thing. I know that Chris Dugan will probably mention this at some point in one of the other telecasts. There is no truth to the rumor that I was doing the game in 1882. I know that he probably is down in the truck right now saying, yeah, I bet Carl actually was doing that play-by-play, but no, I was not.
So it'll be first down and 10 for Needham at their own 44-yard line. Again, after another short kick. So that's one thing we've seen on Wellesley special teams. Was a lot of short kickoffs. Like you said, probably trying to avoid Andres. Speaking of, that's Riley on the carry, and he is bottled up for a loss on the play. So again, that Wellesley defensive front making some noise and pushes Riley back there for a loss of about 3 or 4 yards on the play.
Well, he had Ogletree under center that time, and he's not under center all that often. You know, it's one thing that the Rockets have changed in the past year or so is they go to the shotgun, it seems at least 50 or more % of the time. And when you do go under center like that, that's almost a surefire sign that they're going to be running the ball, and that just allowed Wellesley to kind of put 9 guys right on the line of scrimmage, read that run, and that's what happens.
Yeah, loss of 5 on the play, so it'll be second down 15 from the 39. Ogletree back to throw. A screen pass there, a little bit of dump out there to Smith, but he throws it behind him. And, you know, Carl, it's interesting your point. Ogletree maybe a little bit rattled right now with the pick 6 on the last drive. Definitely not looking as smooth as he was in the opening drive.
Well, that one again, you know, you go back to that first drive where he threw it about 3 feet behind Andre and went incomplete. It was the same thing there. Didn't lead the receiver. I'm not sure that was going anywhere even if Smith had gotten the ball because it would, again, I don't know if it's very well defended or very poorly blocked, but it was one of those two.
So third down 15 here at the 39 as, again, Ogletree back to throw, taking some more pressure. Hit as he throws, and the pass incomplete there was intended for number 3. That is Odari Hibberts. And so that'll bring up a 4th down, and Needham going 3 and out here after that.
Ogletree will stay in as he's the punter.
So Wellesley defense here really just not making Ogletree comfortable there at all as they keep getting to him, and no sacks per se, but still he's got to be feeling a little bit of that pressure there, Carl, as again sort of had to get that pass off and couldn't quite get it to Hibberts on that one.
Yeah, he just kind of, again, threw it a little bit behind. I'm not sure if Odari was having some problems seeing into the sun where that ball was. At first, it didn't look like it was going to be too bad a pass, and then just kind of fell incomplete. That's a pretty good kick.
Yeah, good kick there by Ogletree, as is taken in by Deontay Moore at about the 20-yard line, and he is going to be stacked up there. Good kick coverage there by the Rockets. So Wellesley will take over inside their own 20 here. Again, leading 15-6, coming off a pretty good drive last time where they were able to get it in on a 5-yard run by Shiloh White. And so we'll see what Wellesley could do here. A little bit longer field, but let's see if the offense can continue to move the ball and use this momentum that they seem to have right now.
This is going to be a pretty important defensive stand for the Rockets. We've got 5:45 to go here in the second quarter. If Wellesley's able to have some kind of sustained drive and put some points on the board before the end of the half, then they get the ball back to start the second half. That could kind of spell doom for the Rockets pretty early in this game. So they need to step up right here. They need to put a stop on. We've got another timeout for Wellesley.
Another timeout is obviously.
I'm not quite sure why you need a timeout on a change of possession. Something's going on there. But I think, the Rockets need to step up, get a stop, and put something on the boards, or this game could be falling away from them a little bit quicker than they had planned on.
Certainly, and so it will be first and 10 for the AT coming out of the timeout. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised they needed a timeout, like you said, coming off of the change of possession. But Wellesley still with 2 timeouts remaining here, as there'll be Mayona under center with an eye backfield, 2 receivers split out wide. Handoff here to White and goes absolutely nowhere.
And now you got big number 97, Milo Baker Durante, that was kind of got a good push on the offensive line and broke that play up, got the tackle. Good job there by Milo.
Yeah, looked like a loss on the play, loss of 2.
2-3, yeah.
Clock's
like running.
Second down at 12 coming up here at the 16. Yeah, I mean, if you're Needham here, you could really use a 3 and out, especially this deep in rare territory. This would get you some pretty good field position here, as Mayona with the pitch out here to Moore. Moore breaks off 1 tackle, still on his feet, gets up just past the original line of scrimmage there before he's finally brought down. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and long for the Raiders here, about 3rd down and 9. And so big play coming up here defensively for the Rockets, as I said, looking to try and get that 3 and out.
That was a good tackle there by Connor Hickey, kind of stuck his head in there and stopped Moore from getting any extra yardage. We talked a lot about already that this is the 130th meeting between these 2 teams. One thing we're showing on the Needham channel this afternoon and through the day, and I hope we get a chance to watch it, is the past 30 years.
Yeah.
A little documentary that Mike Levin, one of the directors and producers at the Needham channel, has put together. I'm very proud of that, so I'm looking forward to watching that when I get home this afternoon.
Mayona back to throw and fires it, and it is
caught. Yeah, that was caught.
It's caught. It's somehow hauled in there by Holt Fletcher over the middle, looking kind of like Julian Edelman last year's Super Bowl, and sort of digging that one out of the ground right there. And the Raiders get the conversion.
That's exactly what I thought. Went right through the hands of number 54 for the Rockets, Donald Anastasi. But yeah, that should have been a pick right there for Anastasi. He just missed it, and picking it off the turf were the Raiders for a 1st down.
So 1st down and 10, ball spotted at the 34. As again, another handoff here up the middle. That is White on the carry, and
there's a ball out. That is loose. And Anastasi's got it, but
they're gonna say he's down by contact on the play. So
they must have ruled that forward progress had stopped, because that ball was clearly out. But if he was going backwards, not going anywhere. I always say when the forward progress is stopped below the stupid whistle.
Yeah. But so they'll say no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 from the 35. And Mayona this time out of the gun. Moore goes in motion. They option it out to him, and he breaks off 1 tackle and hurdles a defender. He's still on his feet. Oh, and they're going to say he just stepped out of bounds. Moore was trying to keep running on that one, but the official blows it dead. So a nice little hurdle there by Deontay Moore. Definitely showing the ups on that one. Going up and over trying to go up and over the Needham defense on that play.
If I'm the Wellesley track coach, I'm making a call to him tomorrow saying, we need a high jumper.
Can you start Monday?
Exactly.
So 3rd down and 1
as he picked you everything you need to know. You've got the raw skills, I can see.
3rd down 1 at the 43. So Wellesley here again looking for another conversion, as Mayona will keep it himself. He definitely has the 1st down and more down that sideline, and knocked out of bounds.
Right around 50?
Yeah, right around midfield it looks like. So Matt Mayona keeping himself there and picks up the 1st down for the Raiders, and with 2:45 to go in the half, Wellesley can now bleed some more of that clock here as they look to get into Needham territory in the final minutes of this first half.
You know, more importantly, he was able to get out of bounds, stop the clock. The Raiders only have those 2 timeouts left.
That's true, yeah.
So that gives them a chance. I mean, if they can pick up another first down or 2, they can run the clock out for the rest of the half, perhaps get on the board, and again, that'll put them in the driver's seat for the second half for sure.
Pitch outside there to White, and he goes nowhere on that one. Good tackle. Looks like that was number 97 there for the Rockets. That is Milo Baker-Durant coming out there to help make the play. And so no gain on the play. Second down and 10 coming up from the 48.
You know, look at the body language of the two teams. I'm looking at this Rockets defense. They get their heads held down. They're kind of walking slowly.
Hands on the hips, sort of.
Yeah, it's as if they feel that they're getting beat up here a little bit. There's a little jump in the step to the Raiders offense, and the Rockets defense is just kind of hanging.
So second down and 10. Mayona back to throw. He's looking long. He's got a man out there and is picked off.
And that's Sklar with a pick.
Picked off, Colby Sklar. As that pass maybe a little bit underthrown there, intended for Brett Fontana on that near side. And Sklar able to go up and get it. And now it's the Rockets' turn to force a turnover as they're going to get the ball back here with 1:55 to go in the half.
And that was really well defended by Sklar. He had his head turned around, saw that the whole way. He was tracking it pretty well. A number I know, that was my son's number, 22. So I can always watch Sklar too.
So let's see what the Rockets could do here. You know, maybe try to capitalize and turn this turnover into some points here late in the half. It'll be first and 10 from the 14. Ogletree out of the gun.
Let's see how aggressive Duffy's going to be on this, and he's coming out throwing the ball.
Rolls right, throws. The pass is complete to Andre, and
he gets out of bounds for the first down. And I tell you what, that's the kind of pass. I always think you get a right-handed quarterback rolling out to the right. It's a very comfortable way for them to throw. And I think that what it does, it gives Ogletree a chance to see the field a little bit better, too.
So they do move the chains. It'll be first down and 10.
And let's see if that is something that gets the confidence back in Ogletree to give him a little bit of a head start to picking up his play here in the rest of this half and into the second half.
Certainly. So first and 10, ball spot at the 25 of Needham. Again, 1:47 to go.
They've still got 4 of their 5 timeouts left, so there's plenty of time still on the clock, especially when they're a team that likes to throw the ball.
Certainly. As now it'll be Ogletree takes the snap, back to throw, and it almost picked off. That was right through the hands there of Matt Mayona, who had nobody around him, and fortunately just could not hang on to that one. And that is a big break for the Rockets as Ogletree was almost picked off for the 3rd time this afternoon.
And I tell you, Mayona still may be running if he'd come up with that ball. There was no one in front of him.
So second down and 10 here for the Rockets. As again, they split out 4 receivers, single man in the backfield with Ogletree out of the shotgun. Back to throw, taking some pressure, fires over the middle. The pass is complete.
Short game
to Hibberts.
Maybe pick up a 5.
So tackle out in the middle of the field there, so bring up a 3rd down, and yeah, called about 5 for the Rockets as the clock continues to run. About 1:20 to go in this opening half. So if you're Needham here, probably want to start moving a little bit more of a sense of urgency here as they look to get, again, on the board before the half. As Ogletree back to throw, fires, and the pass is complete to Smith. And able to haul that down, and
ball's loose. They're saying he's down, and I think we might have a first down for the Rockets.
I believe so, yes. It will be a first down for Needham, so that'll stop the clock while they set the chains.
And Smith needed all of his 6'5" frame to come down with that one, because that one was thrown a little bit high by Ogletree.
So first and 10, they call it at the 30. Ogletree rolling right. Throws, that ball is tipped up in the air and incomplete. That was Holt Fletcher on the bat down there. Good job of going up and knocking that pass down.
He had a couple options in that pattern. He had a little bit deeper, about 15 yards downfield. He had Andre, and about 5 yards downfield he had Murmis. Unfortunately, good defensive play there by the Raiders knocking that one down. 37 seconds left to go here in the first half.
Yep, it'll be second down time. My apologies. The ball's actually at the 40-yard line. So, and if you're the Rockets here, I mean, you probably want to start with only 37 seconds to start taking some chances, maybe more down the field. I mean, you gotta. We'll see what they elect to do here.
You got a defensive lineman out there covering. You got Carson McCongie. Is that how you say it?
What number?
79.
So, yeah, Carson McCongie.
He was out there covering
a receiver.
Yeah, he's out there covering Matt Smith. And as soon as I saw that, I'm like, if I'm the quarterback, that's where I'm going. I got to believe Matt Smith can beat him off the line of scrimmage. And he was just simple one-on-one man coverage on the outside. And I'm not sure how a defensive lineman is going to hang with a tight end.
Well, it looked like one of the coaches out too is we have a timeout here.
Is that the fourth for Wellesley?
Fourth for Wellesley, yeah.
Only 4 more for Needham to go.
4 more in 37 seconds. So
yeah.
you got to call a timeout pretty much on every play if you want to use all those ones up.
Realistically, they got 5 plays left in the half. 5, maybe 6. But it's a tall order for the Rockets to put something on the board. Again, Wellesley getting the second half kick.
Now, in terms of a potential field goal opportunity, what are we looking at in terms of Sliney's distance? I know on the extra point he kind of kept.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that extra point. I don't know, but you know, he's got to get it. They got to get it down to at least, man. He can probably get it from 35 on a day like today, maybe 40. So they got to get it to the 20-yard line.
Actually, back to throw, and he is almost picked off again, but they're going to say it's incomplete. That was Chris Altoff, who tried to make the diving interception but couldn't quite hang on to it. So yeah, another near miss there by Ogletree.
Could have easily been 4 picks in this half.
As we have a 3rd down and 10 coming up with 30 seconds exactly showing on the clock.
Another timeout, this one for Needham.
Another timeout called by Needham, as obviously Coach Dave Duffy and offensive coordinator Chuck Thornton probably trying to figure out some way to get a big play, move the ball down the field. So to again, just try and get some points here before half. As we said, Wellesley will receive the second half kickoff here. So if you're Needham, I mean, you would love some points. You would love this to be like a 1-point game heading into, or a 2-point game heading into, as opposed to a 9-point game with Wellesley getting the ball.
All I can say is thank God they're only 11-minute quarters with 10 timeouts and a half. We might miss Thanksgiving dinner. And those turkey hot dogs I was joking about, that might be our Thanksgiving dinner if they use all these timeouts. Here's what I'd love to see right now. You got 30 seconds to go. You got to get 35, 40 yards down the field still. Roll them out. Send somebody deep. Ogletree's got a big arm. Throw it as far as you can.
Maybe go to Smith or Andre downfield. Like somebody.
Go to Smith at 6'5". Make it a jump ball opportunity against the very smaller, much smaller Wellesley defensive backs. The kid can throw the ball long.
So 3rd down and 10.
These 5, 10-yard patterns are not going to get them where they need to be in the next 30 seconds.
3rd down and 10 from the 40. Ogletree back to throw. He's looking deep, fires downfield, and is caught by Andre, and he is in for a touchdown.
Like I said.
You called it, Carl, there. They go deep. It's Andre, got by the defender, made the catch, and then had nothing but green in front of him. And with 18 seconds to go in the opening half, a big score for the Rockets there as they make it a 15-12 game.
And I tell you what, Ogletree struggling with his throwing ball in the first half. That one was a perfect throw. He got Andre dead in stride in a small window. That was an outstanding throw by Ogletree right there. You couldn't ask for a better throw.
And so this time, though, if you're Needham, you got to hope that Alex Slye could get the extra point maybe a little bit higher this time.
Yeah, you got to know that if the bar is 10 feet high, you got to at least get it 10 feet in the air to cross it. And that's unusual for him. He's been a pretty solid kicker for 4 years.
And the kick is up, it's higher that time. It is good. So
they still almost got through and blocked that one. They had 3 guys diving at that one around the blockers. So, but Rockets 15-13. They hung in there.
18 seconds to go. Needham again facing a 3rd down and long, and again is Ogletree hooking up with one of the dynamic weapons this Rocket team has, John Andre, for that 60-yard touchdown pass. And now all of a sudden it's just a 2-point game as we just about to head into halftime here.
And I think you can see the Rockets are not going to try and kick it too terribly deep. I wouldn't think they don't want to have a chance for a long run back, and I wouldn't be surprised if Wellesley just kneeled it down.
Took a knee and went into the half, especially when you're getting the football back to start the second half.
So I'd be looking for a little bit of a pooch kick type of thing, you know, knock it up to around a 30-yard line.
So we will see what Sliney elects to do here. You've got White, Fontana, and Moore back deep for Wellesley here on this one. And again, what a tremendous crowd we have on hand here today. The stands are completely full. The sideline, the sides of the field are completely full. It is always a great treat, this Wellesley game, and Sliney elects to kick it deep here, as it'll be Fontana on the return. He's got some room to run. He's still on his feet, and finally gets taken down up across the Wellesley 35-yard line with 9 seconds to go. So kind of Sliney surprisingly attempting to kick it deep there, but Needham was able to get down there in coverage, and now we'll see what Wellesley likes to do here. Just 9 seconds. Wouldn't be surprised, like you said, Carl, if they look to just take a knee and go into halftime here.
And the Rockets were a little bit lucky. If there weren't too many guys past whoever made that tackle that were going to stop Fontaine.
So Wellesley breaks the huddle here again. This will more than likely be the final play of this first half, although we do have Mayona out of the shotgun here, so maybe not taking a knee as we'd once thought. And there's White there on the run as
going to reset the chains for the first down, stop the clock with 3 seconds to go, and Wellesley, they just
they're gonna run it down to halftime here. So that'll bring us to the end of the first half here from Hunnewell Field in Wellesley. It is the Wellesley Raiders 15, the Needham Rockets 13. We're going to take a break, folks, and we'll be back in just moments with the second half of action right here. Stay tuned. You're watching the 130th Thanksgiving Wellesley Needham game on both Wellesley Media and the Needham channel. Your second half of action from Hunnewell Field in Wellesley in the 130th installment of the Wellesley Needham game. It is Wellesley 15, Needham 13. Robbie Johnson, Carl Schofield. Happy to be with you here on both Wellesley Media and the Needham channel, as Needham will kick off here to begin the second half. A short kick will be taken in there by Deontay Moore. He tries to bounce it to the outside, still on his feet. Now he's got a little bit of room, still breaks off another tackle, still going down that sideline. Finally wrestled down at about the 40-yard line. What a nice little kickoff return there by Deontay Moore. So went one way, cut back the other way, and picks up some pretty good yardage on that, Carl.
When you first looked at it, you had Garrett Hurst had them all wrapped up at about the 25-yard line, and you thought, okay, it might have been a short kick, but it's going to work out fine for the Rockets. Broke that tackle, and then all of a sudden it was, wait a minute, this kid's going for a little bit. Got it back to the 35, and that was the 22nd kickoff return. That's a long kickoff return for only going about 8 yards.
Certainly. And so, Carl, when we look at that first half, a lot of defense and special teams for Dominic Bonita. Did get a little bit of momentum there heading into halftime with that touchdown pass from Ogletree to John Andre.
You know, they had that first sustained drive, the first drive of the game. They scored the touchdown, did a nice job. Then they just kind of sputtered the rest of the time with some difficulties on offense. But that throw to Andre by Ogletree, if that gets him out of a funk, Wellesley could be in for a tough second half, because that was just a dime.
Certainly is White there picking up 8 yards on first down, so it'll be second down and two at the 45-yard line, it looks like. Wellesley this half will be moving from, or this quarter will be moving from right to left on your television screens. Call it the 43, so again, second down and 2. Mayona with a screen pass here to Moore, and picks up little to no gain on that play. Good read there by the Needham defense, as it will be a 1 yard gain. It'll pick up a third down on the play, third down 1.
I think that was Michael DeLeva, number 28, one of the linebackers for the Rockets. Nice job DeLeva does in the run game. Also picks up a nice tackle there on the little quick out.
Michael DeLeva had an interception, I remember, in last year's game.
You're correct.
For the Rockets. Fortunately, one of the few bright spots for the Rockets in last year's game. But
there was a bright spot. One bright spot a game you got to have.
So 3rd down and 1 at the 44. And we have a whistle, and first drive of the game, Wellesley uses a timeout. So 9:16 to go. They will talk things over here between Coach Davis and Jason Mayona. And interesting sort of side note to this game, Wellesley under Coach Jesse Davis, who took over in the fall of 2012, they have all had a winning record every single season under Coach Jesse Davis, and with the win today would get to that 6-5 mark. So a little bit of something on the line here for this Raider team as we go through the second half.
You know, these two teams have been the quality of the Bay State Conference for a long time. You know, Wellesley struggled a little bit recently, but they had a while there where they were the cream of the crop of this conference.
Well, Wellesley last year won the Harrogate title for the first time since 1999. So and that was the first down. It was White on the carry on that one. Picks up the first down to it looks to be about the 47, his own 47. So the Raiders able to move the chains here, moving the ball a little bit here to start the second half. Again, winning 15-13.
Yeah, I remember back when we first moved into Needham. We moved into Needham in 1990. In those first several years, Wellesley was the dominant team. They won a couple of state titles.
Here comes Deontay Moore and picks up a decent yardage there into Needham territory before he gets knocked down out of bounds. But yeah, Wellesley back-to-back Super Bowl appearances in 98 and 99, winning the Super Bowl in 1999. And so certainly found on some tough times, like you said, didn't actually win a Harrogate title until last year after that 99 season. But still, I mean, always, these two teams, always seem to have, very similar seasons, very similar record. I mean, I know there's been a couple years where like Needham's made the playoffs and Wellesley hasn't before this new playoff format, or vice versa. Now it's Mayona. He's going to keep it. He's got some room to run, but we do have a flag down on the play as he gets knocked out of bounds. But this one may be coming back. It's sort of in that area of a hold maybe here on the Raiders.
I thought I saw somebody holding Ricky Brantley over there, the right defensive end, number 90. Someone had a good hold of his jersey. I'm not sure if that's what they saw.
Hold on the Raiders is the call. So that'll push the Raiders back here, and we'll replay second down.
Looks like it's going to be a 2nd and 10. So it's only going to be a net 6-yard penalty.
So it'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
From the spot of the foul.
As opposed to 10 yards from the previous spy.
2nd and 7 it looks like, actually. Yeah, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So on that, if the foul's in front of the line of scrimmage. And if it's behind the line of scrimmage, they do it from the line of scrimmage.
Right, so 2nd down and 7 is what they'll call it. Ball right at about midfield.
And I'm sure I probably just explained that wrong, and I'm waiting for Brendan Walsh to text me and tell me that I said something wrong there. Well, I guess he can't do it because the game is not live. I can say whatever I want. This is fantastic. I have so much freedom right now.
2nd down and 7.
Very liberating to know that I can't be second-guessed right away.
Mayona will try to keep it again, but this time goes nowhere as he was stood up there.
That was Anastasi.
For a loss on the play.
Boy, I tell you, he did a nice job to avoid the first tackle, but Anastasi was sitting there waiting for him. Loss of 3, so we got a 3rd and 10 now, and this drive just quickly went in the wrong direction. That penalty changed things. Big 3rd and 10.
It'll be 3rd down and 10, so let's see what the Raiders elect to do here.
So you mentioned it earlier, but there's a fantastic crowd here. I got to believe there's close to 5,000 people here.
And everywhere you look, basically the whole field is lined, not just the stands, but the whole, it's standing room only here as we have a whistle before the snap. And it looks like Wellesley's going to go back even further here as there'll be a false start.
5 more yards back. Let's make it 3rd and 15. Hey, going in the right direction for me.
In the wrong direction for me. So. But yeah, it'll be 3rd down 15. So now I think if you're Wellesley, you kind of are forced to go there. It looks like they were going to try to run a little option there on 3rd to kind of surprising, but we'll see if that extra 5 yards sort of changes up the play call here for Coach Davis and crew.
Let's make things interesting here in the second half, Rob. Let's have a little wager.
Okay.
If Needham wins, you have to stuff yourself with turkey this afternoon because I know you don't like turkey.
All right.
And if Wellesley wins, I'll do the same.
Okay, deal.
Getting off that easy, huh? I thought you'd complain about the turkey thing.
That's the word. That's the word. Oh, and we have a screen pass here, and they're going to rule it incomplete, though.
Mayona took a shot on that one, too.
Yeah, he was. And even if that screen pass had been completed, it didn't look like that play was going anywhere there. So 4th down for the Raiders. Unfortunately, that penalty will force a punting situation here. So the Rockets will get the ball back for the first time in the second half. So a good stop here for this Needham defense as they now will look to potentially get a go-ahead drive going here as a good kick taken in by Andre.
He had some room there.
And he bounces outside, gets a couple of good blocks going down the far sideline, and it's finally taken down out across the 40 to about the 45-yard line. So that's where Needham will take over with 5:45 to go here in the third quarter.
That's about a 22, 23-yard return there for Andre. And I tell you, I've watched a lot of football, and you don't actually get to see a lot of punts returned in high school football. They generally just get down. So when he caught that ball, he had a good 5-yard cushion before he saw the nearest Wellesley Raider. Let's see if Ogletree can continue the good throw he made at the end of the first half.
Hand up here to Riley, and going nowhere, stacked up for a loss on that play as he was just met by a sea of Raider defenders on that. So loss of about 2 or 3.
There has been nothing in this running game the entire game for the Rockets so far. You know, I don't know that if they've even got positive yards. We don't have anybody doing stats up here for us, but my guess is they don't have any more than 10 or 15 yards rushing at best.
Yeah, maybe we should get our floor director, Derek Risner, on the on stat duty, actually give him something to do during this half.
Derek, you know, if you don't know, we have a floor director today, and what he spent most of his time doing is stretching his calf muscles. I'm not quite sure what else he's done.
Back to throw is Ogletree. He's going deep. He's got Smith out there. Smith makes the catch, and stays in bounds. He's got one man to beat, and he is in for a touchdown.
That was an interesting. I mean, it's not a great throw. He threw it a little bit too high. The Wellesley defender fell down after a little bit of contact between him and Smith. Smith caught the ball and just ran it on in.
And we have a late flag on the play, maybe a little bit of
excessive celebration
against the Rockets. But still, you're right, and Smith, good job there of maneuvering that near sideline there, staying in bounds, and takes it for the touchdown. So for the first time since the first quarter, I should say, the Needham Rockets back on top here, 19-15 with the extra point pending, and we will check the flag. It's going to be unsportsmanlike against Needham, so I'm guessing that'll be
enforced on the kickoff. So I'm actually glad that Derek has been stretching, because he was jumping up and down for that touchdown pass. So I'm glad he didn't pull anything. So they're going to kick the extra point like normal. And again, we're going to go for that 10-foot rule. It's got to get 10 feet in the air in order to be good. And then we'll see what happens on it. Well, they're going to be kicking that ball off from the 25-yard line. So that's going to put Wellesley.
It was this side of the field where he got blocked the last time. So let's see.
At least they got a 4-point lead. So if they return it again, they'll still be up by 2.
And that kick is up. It looks good and is good. So again, 4:43 to go in this third quarter, and Needham back on top here, Carl. 20-15. We talked about that big play, and that's 2 drives in a row where Needham has gotten the big play, the touchdown pass from Ogletree to Andre to end the first half, and now to start the third quarter, the pass from Ogletree to Smith for the other touchdown.
Both of those covering over 50 yards too. The first one to Andre, as we talked about, just a fantastic throw. This last one a little bit fortuitous for the Rockets. Not a great throw, got caught up in the wind a little bit, but Smith did a nice job adjusting to it. The Wellesley defender did not make the same quality adjustment, and that was 6 points for the Rockets.
So let's see what the Raider offense now could do, now playing again from behind.
Got a lot of TV camera angles working out for the people watching today too.
By the way, I do have to give a shout out. You know, we do have a great, very talented crew on hand here today from both Wellesley Media and the Needham channel. They are bringing you all the action. We're just here to talk about it.
We're just the pretty boys.
Yeah, the pretty guys here to talk about it. But really, in all seriousness, always a good job by both these channels coming together and bringing you all the action on this Thanksgiving Day. So very appreciative to both sides for another well-done broadcast here so far.
Yeah, we made fun of Derek already. We've got Josh Eiler down there. You got Chris Dugan and
Greg Story from Wellesley is a short kickoff here, very short kickoff, and Wellesley gets a return out close to midfield. So short kickoff, they're helping the Raiders a little bit. They're going to get good field position here, trailing by 5 now with first and 10 coming up right, like I said, right around midfield.
Yeah, that 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty really hurt the Rockets right there.
That's true.
Boy, this sun feels great.
Yeah, and the wind has died down a little bit. Yeah.
I might have to
Folks, we were freezing when we got here about an hour before the game.
That was beautiful. Might need some sunscreen.
As Mayona out of the gun. Man in motion. Mayona's going to keep it. Now he pitches it out.
Rockets had that one pretty well defended. They strung it out a little bit. You know, they pick up about 4, but you know, when you get the option play like that, and now we got a 15-yard penalty unsportsmanlike on Wellesley, I'm guessing.
Oh, what's the?
Yep, there it is.
Oh, wow, it's sportsmanlike conduct against Wellesley, so that is going to hurt, as that'll be 15 yards and the down will count. So
I'm not sure what happened there, to be honest with you. There was no pushing, no shoving.
I didn't see anything noticeable, but
the only thing I saw is the freshman, number 3 for Wellesley,
Shiloh White.
Yeah, I don't know if it was called on him or not, but he kind of came back in a crowd of like 3 or 4 Wellesley guys somewhere near the referee. Looked like he might have been heated about something, and then all of a sudden the flag came out from the referee standing there.
There have been a couple of plays. He sort of jumped up and sort of been chatting a little bit with the Needham defenders after a play. So obviously in that case, sort of got to him a little bit. There's a run to the outside. That is Justin Lindquist, it looks like, on the carry.
Anastasi with a
brought
tackle.
Down for a loss. So again, for the second drive in a row, Wellesley going backwards here. And
self-inflicted.
Yeah, some self-inflicted wounds. And if you're Coach Jesse Davis, you could not be happy about that.
But you know, you mentioned that he'd gotten into a couple. You'd seen him chirping a little bit with the Needham players. There was no Needham player around. There was literally 5 Wellesley guys right next to the referee. Maybe he dropped the magic word.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know if that's meritorious of a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty.
Too bad
flag.
the referees aren't mic'd up, so we can,
yeah,
like in the college or pro game, you would get the explanation. So, as we have another run, this time it's White, and again just dropped for nothing.
Again.
And so good defensive stand for Needham, helped out by the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and Wellesley will be forced to punt.
So you look 2 consecutive drives. The last drive, it was a holding penalty after a nice gain, and then a false start that drove Wellesley back. This time it was the unsportsmanlike penalty that killed the drive. Andre and Hickey back around their own 25, 30-yard line to receive the punt. And this is a 4th and 21.
Lindquist gets the kick away.
That's a good punt.
And Andre will haul it in for the fair catch there. It looked like he may have had a momentary trouble with the ball, but able to hang on to it. And so Needham will take over at about their own 27-yard line here. And again, if you're Wellesley defensively, Carl, you got to find a way to get a stop here, because you can't let Needham go down and score and make this a 2-score game. This could be very tough to come back from. So,
and again, Wellesley's defense has been stellar against the run. They've just had those 2 lapses against the passes, and that's really what's killed them. They've played a pretty solid game except for those 2 plays. But that's enough to put them behind 20-15.
So Ogletree out of the gun. First attempt, they give the ball. It is Hibbert on the carry, and again, he is met for no gain. What a hit there on the play. That was Callahan on the head, and you could hear that pop almost from up here as Hibberts could go nowhere there and loses about 3 yards on the play.
I tell you, if I'm Coach Duffy right now, I wouldn't even bother handing the ball off. I'd just go empty backfield, maybe keep one guy in to help block and throw. I mean, sure, Ogletree had 2 picks. He had 2 others that were almost picked. But he seems to have found a little bit of a rhythm, and I just put the ball in his hands and let him throw it, because that running game is doing nothing.
Second down, 13. They spot the ball back at the 24-yard line. Under 2 minutes to go here in this third quarter. As we have, as you could probably hear, we have a boisterous Wellesley student section right actually it's making a lot of noise. Ogletree back to throw. He's looking deep and almost hauled in there by John Andre. It looks like the ball was going to be a little bit overthrown there first.
Agreed.
And then somehow Andre was able to at least get a hand out there, but does fall incomplete.
I actually thought it was going to be about 4 or 5 yards overthrown, and when it hit off of Andre's hands, that would have been a circus catch for Andre for sure. But that was a good job there by Andre catching up to that one. And again, Mayona on the defensive coverage there. He's going to be getting tired.
Yeah, he's got to go both. First start as, you know, as quarterback, and yet he's got to play on both sides of the ball. So again, 3rd and 13 here for the Rockets. Big third down here for both teams. As Ogletree back to throw, taking some pressure, fires, and it's picked off again. It's Moore, and he is going to be knocked out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. That is the 3rd interception of the day for Ogletree, as that one was right into the waiting hands of Deontay Moore. And we talked about how the Wellesley defense needed a big play on this drive, and they certainly got right there with another interception, getting the ball deep in Needham territory here.
At the 23-yard line, you know, it's not that it's easy to play defensive back, but when you're a defensive back and the quarterback is staring at his target for 5 seconds before
throwing the ball really right into your hands.
I mean, it makes it a lot easier to play defensive back when the quarterback does not look anywhere but where he's throwing the ball.
So 1st and 10 at the 23. Mayona pitch off here to Moore, and gets stood up for a loss there on the play. That Needham defense reading that outside run pretty well there, and pushes Moore back for a loss of about 2 on the play.
That was Palmatier with the tackle, but I want to give a shout out to Jonah Kirker, number 58. He's the one that really blew that play up. He took on a blocker, knocked the blocker out of the way, that opened it up for Palmatier to come in and make the easy tackle. So nice job there by number 58, Jonah Kirker.
I'm assuming relation to Cliff Kirker?
I'm assuming so too. Remember him? He was fun to watch play.
We were talking about punt returns earlier. I mean, I know Cliff Kirker had about 2 highlight reel punt returns.
He had one that
made Sports Center top 10.
Legitimately was on the top 10 plays of the day.
Mayona back to throw. His pass is complete to Callahan. Callahan still going and gets close to first down. Looks like he has it, pulling that defender along close to about the 10-yard line.
There was just way too much of a cushion there. You had Sklar that had given him about 15 yards. And, you know, when you only have to go 12 yards for a first down, you got to be up tighter on your man than that.
And so that might be the last play of the first quarter. Well, the third quarter, as I don't think Wellesley's just going to let the clock roll down here. So that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter of play, with Needham on top of Wellesley here, 20-15 after 3 quarters. And Carl, Wellesley knocking on the door right now. First and goal from the 10-yard line coming up. We'll see. First of all, what this Wellesley offense could do. Also, this Needham defense could do. Maybe trying to bend but not break here, as this is a big sequence coming up right here to start the 4th.
It really is. I mean, you're only looking at 11-minute quarters, so there's not a lot of time to go. Whoever kind of takes the lead in the next few minutes has a pretty good shot at winning this game. If the Rockets can come up strong defensively here, force a field goal attempt or turn the ball over on downs, or perhaps get a turnover, and then can get some kind of sustained drive going. They're not going to do it with the running game, that's for sure. And in fact, I'm not sure they can do it with the passing game now after those 3 interceptions with 2 others that were possible. I don't know what their answer is on offense, to be honest with you. Maybe just kneel, take as much time off the clock as you can.
Well, Carl, I don't know if you're obviously 2 years ago at the Fenway game, Wellesley had, I think, a 1st and goal to start the 4th quarter, and Needham was able to get the stop, and ended up being sort of the difference in the game. Right there. So let's see, Needham probably looking for lightning to strike twice here, as again it'll be first down. They're calling it 1st and 10 from the 10, but I thought that was 1st and goal, so maybe it's like just outside the 10-yard line.
It was on the edge of the soccer box here,
the
scoreboard, so like the 11.
The scoreboard's deceiving me then.
Yeah, I think it was they're on like about the 11-yard line.
So 1st down and 10, Mayona under center, and he gives up the middle to White, and White goes nowhere there. Stacked up for Naby, a gain of 1 on the play. We will see. Well, yeah, it looks like he picked up about a yard on the play, so it'll be 2nd down and 9.
I tell you what, watching the end of that play, number 64, Ryan Sullivan, an offensive guard for Wellesley, pancaked the Needham defender at the end zone, at the end of the end zone by the goalpost. I mean, he's 20 yards downfield on a guy that's getting tackled at the 8-9 yard line. So good job for Sullivan keeping that block up. I guess he's a center. He's a center. He's not a guard, but man, he just kept it going.
So 2nd down and 8 they call it. They give him a pickup of 2. 2nd down and 8 at the 9. Mayona's going to roll, fires, and
well, that was a solid defensive play right there by the Rockets. I think that was Connor Hickey, number 24, with the defended pass.
Fontana, the intended receiver there, but good coverage on the play there by Hickey, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down here for the Raiders. 3rd down 8.
I can't see the Raiders trying to kick a field goal here. I think this is 4-down territory for them to try and get the lead. And again, try and establish the lead. It'll put them up 21-20. Maybe they go for 2 to make it a 3-point game to force the Rockets to at least kick a field goal to tie the game. We'll see how it goes. We've got 2 plays to figure it out.
We'll see. 3rd down and 8. As Mayona this time now he steps back into the gun, single back to throw, rolling. Throws a screen pass, and that goes for nothing. Looks like he was trying to throw back.
I think he lost about 4 yards there. And you got to give some credit on that. I think that was Kirker again. It just he was well positioned. He was disciplined. He stayed where he was supposed to be.
Stayed at home on that one and made the play. Now we have some flags on the play.
Yeah.
Let's see who the flags are on.
Flags coming out when there's nobody around.
Another good call. Penalty against
12 men on the field?
I'm confused. He pointed, it looked like he was doing like the ineligible receiver downfield, but he pointed towards Needham, so I'm a little bit confused. I think Coach Dave Duffy getting an explanation. Let's see what the...
Yeah, he did point at Needham. He did.
No,
they're pointing the wrong way.
Yeah, so they're going to decline the penalty. So it'll be 4th down and goal, or 4th down and not goal. 4th down and about 11-12 here for the Raiders back at the 13-yard line.
When I saw the signal at first, I'm like, and he pointed at Needham. I'm like, okay, that's ineligible, but he pointed at Needham. Maybe does that mean it's 12 men?
Yeah, that's what confused me.
Coming up with something. But you called it right.
So here we go, 4th down. Wellesley will go for it. Biggest play of the game so far. Mayona rolling. He's looking long. It's Kai, and it's in for a touchdown. Deontay Moore on the reception as Mayona had just enough time, threw it back, and Moore able to just stretch that ball over the goal line for a touchdown, and just like that, with 9:18 to go in the 4th quarter, Wellesley back on top here. It's 21-20.
And just as we had talked about the play before with the good discipline by the Rockets defense, they lost their discipline there. DeLeva gave up on Moore, let him slip behind him, and by the time he figured out the pass was going right back to him, he was out of position, and it was just going to go in the whole way. And they're going to go for 2.
Yeah, it looks like, I was about to say, it looks like Wellesley is going to go for 2 here. You might as well, because if you kick even if you miss it, it's basically the same as kicking extra point. Needham would then need, just a field goal to take the lead. But this way, if you get it, it is a 3-point game. So we will see what Wellesley elects to do here. As Mayona takes the snap, and he is in for the 2-point conversion.
You kind of tell they were going to run that one. They had 3 wide receivers way split out, and another one wide here on the right-hand side. That just opens up. That takes 4 guys out of the middle of the block. There's no chance. So 23-20?
Yes, so 23-20, 9:18 to go, and Wellesley, again, taking advantage of the turnover there as they're able to put points on the board, retake this lead, and now it'll be up to the Needham offense to try to, as we've said all day, it seems like, really hold on to the football because, now, Ogletree's had 3 interceptions. I mean, it's been, they've had 2 good touchdown drives, don't get me wrong, but otherwise, Needham has struggled, with ball control so far today. It's something, with only 9:18 to go,
absolutely,
it's going to be even bigger going through this next drive here.
I got to be honest with you. So far today, Wellesley has been by far the better team. The fact that the Rockets are within 3 with how much they've been outplayed is a testament to their toughness. But Yeah, they shouldn't. This should be a 10-point game easy.
So Wellesley will kick off. Again, it'll be Canada doing the kicking. Another short kick. And
Smith takes it out of bounds, a little past the 40-yard line, maybe.
Matt Smith on the return there on the short kickoff. So Needham again will get good field position here. 9:15 to go in this game, and
you've seen they can strike fast. They've got a 55 and a 60-yard touchdown pass today.
Certainly, and so we will see what Coach Duffy and this Needham offense elects to do here.
And they've got the wind behind them. What little wind there is behind the Rockets. That's going to help in the passing game.
And let's see how much confidence Ogletree has. Obviously, when you've been intercepted 3 times, I'm sure this got to take a little bit of a toll on you. But as we see Ogletree under center here, pitch outside here to Riley. Hibberts, excuse me, and he is going absolutely nowhere. May have gone back to the line of scrimmage on that. But again, Carl, you were talking about that Wellesley run defense, and I've seen all season long is, they're tough to crack, and Needham running right into they're trying some good stuff, running outside, but Wellesley's reading it perfectly here.
But again, every time Ogletree goes under center, it's been a run today. So makes it a little easier defensively when you see that kind of pattern. And I understand what's going through Duffy's head here. He's like, the running game's not working. We're throwing all these interceptions. What the heck am I going to do to get something going here?
So 2nd down and 9 at the 41.
You're definitely not going to get first down with that running game today, though. So I think you got to roll the dice on the passing game.
Ogletree back to throw, and it's complete to Hibberts. And he is stacked up a little bit of a spike there at the end. Yep. They're gonna throw the flag.
Absolutely.
I mean,
delay. I don't know if they're going to call it delay a game or unsportsmanlike, but that's just,
you can't do that, Carl. I'm sorry, but I mean that's just.
But this is an after the play kind of thing, so should be a first down.
No, the down will count, but they're going to be backed up 15 yards. So opposed to being at the 28-yard line, it's going to be back probably to about the 45, I would think.
Just again, stupid. Stupid. That's all you can say. It's stupid.
And he made a nice play too, Hibberts, hauling in sort of a one-handed catch there and picked up the first down. And
well, he got away with a push off there. He was I would have called offensive pass interference on that because he did push the defender off. So I think you're going to have a 1st and 10 from here. They lost the 15 yards, but it's not going to be 1st and 25 at least.
No, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 45. So again, tough break this time for the Rockets. The Wellesley's got a couple of unsportsmanlike conduct, and this time now it's Needham sort of.
I don't know if you can call it a tough break. It's self-inflicted, and it was 100% the right call by the referee. You can't slam the ball down in college football. This isn't the NFL. So these kids, they sit there and they watch the NFL games. They see all the celebrations. They see everything going on there.
Handoff here to Riley, and
they think they can do that.
Maybe picks up a yard on the play.
They think they can do that on a Friday night or a Saturday afternoon game, and they can't do it.
So
again, nothing on the run.
Picked up about 2 yards, it looked like. So it'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Rockets right at midfield. And we have a timeout on the play, timeout Needham. I believe that's their first timeout that they've called this half. Yeah. So have had fewer timeouts, I feel like, this half.
One each. One for each team so far.
So still 4 left, which as we get down the end of the game could come into fact here. But you're right, Carl. I mean, it's just for either side. You obviously you want to play a clean game. You don't want to shoot yourselves in the foot or anything like that. And it's just there's no reason for penalty on White earlier in the game or that penalty right there on Hibberts.
But again, White's a freshman, Hibberts is a sophomore. They're young kids playing in their first Thanksgiving Day game. The emotions get the better of them, but good learning experience for them, but silly plays by both of those kids.
True. So coming out of the timeout again, 2nd and 8, ball right at midfield.
3 wide for the Rockets. Smith down low
empty
near
backfield as man comes in motion. Ogletree to throw. Pass is complete.
That's Tyler Reed, number 25 on the catch. It's right at the first down line. We're going to see how close it is. I think it's a little bit short.
Yeah, I believe.
Nope, they're giving it to him
No,
for the
they're going to say it's the first down. So Rockets able to pick up the first down here back into Raider territory.
So they had 4 split. They had Reed come over in motion and go straight and kind of do a little crossing pattern. And luckily, Ogletree saw him quickly get the pass out fast because the Raiders were rushing 6 on that, and they were getting to Ogletree pretty quickly.
First and 10 ball at the 42. As we go under 7 minutes to play here in regulation, again 23-20 Wellesley to score. Ogletree back to pass, now taking some pressure, and he is going to roll out and just fire that ball out of bounds. Wellesley throwing it away there instead of taking a sack, as good coverage downfield by that Wellesley defensive secondary and some good pressure there, forcing Ogletree out of the pocket and forcing him to throw that pass away.
He had that first flinch where he was going to make the throw, and I think he realized that it was pretty well covered. Flushed him out of the pocket, and he did a nice smart thing, just throwing it away.
As the Wellesley Fire Department making a guest appearance here.
Yeah.
You can kind of hear that siren in our headphones here.
And I heard it and I looked up and there it was. That's why I kind of stuttered there for a little second. And it's pulling in here too. No, is he? No, maybe not. Thought he was pulling into the parking lot on top of it.
So second down and 10.
You know what it could be? Those guys, Dugan and Levin in the van staying nice and warm. Maybe it's so warm in there they thought it was on fire. I don't know. We're up here freezing. Got 47 guys working the telecast, and they're all warm except for me and you.
Second down and 10 from the 42 guys. I think Needham took a timeout there because that was an awful long time in between plays.
We got to talk about the warmth in the truck and the fire department. And
a handoff here to Riley again, and again just stacked up for a minimal gain, maybe about 2 yards on the play. Just that Wellesley defensive front eating up that middle run for the Rockets right now.
Hey, there comes the ambulance now. So I mean, that's the common theme. That running game has just been terrible for Needham today. I mean, it's just there's nothing.
So
down closing in on 6 minutes to go here in the game. They could
clock is becoming clock will start to become a factor here, Carl.
And they're coming close to a delay of game call here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's taken them a long time to get the play in, a long time to relay it to the team.
Third down and 9 for the 41. Crowd making a lot of noise here, as you could probably hear. And Ogletree just able to get the snap off. He's taking some pressure. He throws, and it is
that's complete. And that's Smith.
That's Matt Smith on the coverage, going to the ground and hauling that pass in. So Needham able to move the chains here.
So here's the other thing you have to start thinking about with 5 minutes and 50 seconds to go here in the game. If the Rockets can take enough time off the clock here before they score, that's going to make it tough for Wellesley to have enough time to do anything. And they've not been strong offensively today either. So you're playing that. Does Needham want to take some timeouts, make sure they have 2 possessions in case they don't score here, or do they just, hey, this is it. This is going to. Here comes a timeout for Wellesley. Maybe they're thinking the same thing.
Well, they were running Ryan Sullivan on there at the last minute, so obviously a little bit of trouble with the defensive formation, so I want to talk things over. But yeah, it'll be first and 10 from the 29-yard line of Wellesley.
And again, I mean, they're getting to the spot with the wind behind them.
By the way, Carl, we are being filmed from behind us right now. Mark Mandel has the camera out. I'm not sure who he is. I saw Derek with his phone out as well. I think
maybe they're sitting there. If we can give them shots all day long, and they have no recourse. And maybe this is their way of getting back at us. So here's the play now.
Yeah, first and 10 from the 29. As again, Ogletree in the gun, single back, 4 receivers split out, 2 to each side. Man in motion as a fumble on the ground, and
that's got to be Wellesley's ball.
Wellesley has it.
You know, that was just a real simple fake handoff.
They couldn't get the exchange there. It looked like Ogletree just could not handle it on the exchange.
He didn't get it. Riley kind of ran into the ball, and Ogletree couldn't hang on to it. Just what do you say to something like that?
Gus St. Ford on the recovery, and so Wellesley again. Another turnover as the Rockets just unable to hold on to the football as they were driving down deep. in Wellesley territory, and now with 5:15 to go, if you're Wellesley, you might want to start thinking about starting to, obviously you want to,
run.
Get a sustained drive going, but also run some of that, of that clock here.
Rockets got 3 timeouts to go, and you're going to get a steady dose of the run game right here. The Rockets, I'd put 7 guys in the we're going to stop it right now.
Just as we say that, they do, and it's
Kirker on the tackle again.
White there, and again, White comes up and is kind of, getting a little chirpy with that Needham defense. He already got called on and won. So if you're White, you got to kind of rein that in, because you don't want to hurt the team again with another 15-yard penalty.
It was interesting because we came up. It was just a simple tackle. The referee had to you saw the guy in the white hat there, basically tell him, hey, back off. You saw one of his teammates grab him and pull him away too. So, even if you're chirping, there wasn't anything dirty done there. It was just a simple tackle. Even if Kirker said something to him, I'm rubber, you're glue. It bounces off of me and sticks to you, kind of thing.
Here comes Moore. Moore
stood up there at about the 38.
Picks up maybe a gain of about 3 or 4 on the play. We'll see, but it'll certainly bring up a 3rd down and long here for the Raiders. About 3rd down and 8, it looks like.
And you want to talk about key plays in the game? This could be it.
We thought that 4th down play last drive was a key game. This could be an even more key play as we come on 4 minutes to go here. It'll be a 3rd down and 7. And if you're Wellesley here, do you try to go to the air, try to get that 1st down, or do you just stick with the run game and bleed some more of that clock? We'll see.
They haven't really had any success through the air. They're going to throw it based on this formation.
And Mayona is back to throw, and he completes it to Callahan, but he is short of the 1st down. What's the flag? We will check the flag.
We've got offsides on the Rockets from when it was thrown and where it was thrown.
Well, if it is in fact offside, I think Needham's clapping it up like it's a penalty against Wellesley. It's a legal shift.
And that's going to be.
He was short of the 1st down, so I'm wondering if do you decline this and get the football back, or do you push Wellesley back? Because then maybe
it would be 4th and about 2. And 4th and 1 maybe, and if I'm Coach Davis for Wellesley and I got a 4th and 1, I think I'd give it a shot.
They're going to push him back though. They're going to push him back to 5 yards. So it'll still be 3rd down, 3rd and 13. So
clock's running again. So this is again, the Rockets did have it stop, but I think that this is probably a better decision.
Well, I was just saying, it was 4th down, but again, if you can get a stop here, you're going to get better field position here by being the 5 yards back. So we'll see.
But I think Wellesley would have gone for it on that 4th down.
So 3rd down, 13 to 32. Mayona rolling, gets a good block. He throws, it's complete. Still on his feet. It's Callahan, and he is down awfully close to the 1st down.
Will Hood had a chance to do something to.
Let's see what the.
That's a 1st down for sure.
They haven't made a signal yet.
They moved the flag.
Yeah, 1st down. 1st down for Wellesley. So huge 1st down here. Again, 3 minutes to go. Wellesley able to move those chains, and you don't want to second guess the decision to push it back, but unfortunately in that case the decision to replay the down does come back to bite Needham a tiny bit on that one.
Hood just took a bad angle when he had the shot at Mayano in there, and he just went the wrong direction and got a bad angle. And
yeah, good job there by Mayona, staying on his feet there and giving himself time to complete that pass. As now Mayona's going to run it. And we have a flag coming in there.
That's going to be a hold from back there. And that is going to, you got under 3 minutes to go. You got 3 timeouts for the Rockets here. 1 1st down will do it for Wellesley, and this is going to make that tough to do.
Oh, chop block
that's a 15-yarder.
Against Wellesley. So that is going to push them back, like you said, 15 yards. So another tough penalty to take there. Coach Davis trying to get an explanation on that one, but
I can give him an explanation. Here's the explanation, Coach. One guy was engaged with a block up high, and another guy went below the waist.
Yeah,
there you go. That's all the explanation you need.
So it'll be 2nd down and about halfway between here and Newton Lower Falls for the Raiders.
That's right. As Mike Franey would say, it's an Uber ride to that 1st down.
1st down. They will replay the down, but it'll be 1st down about 25. Clock will roll here, though. Again, under 3 minutes. Clock becoming a factor here, Carl,
Absolutely.
for this Needham defense.
And the Rockets need a turnover. I don't think they've got one today. They've given up 4, but I don't think they have any of their own.
No, I don't believe. No, they had
the
one. Yeah, Scar had that one interception. As now it's White on the outside and.
No, you know what?
Knocked out of bounds.
That's a big play right there for the Rockets. They saved the timeout by forcing White out of bounds after about a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, that's true. Got sort of a free timeout out of that one. So it'll bring up second down at about 20, it looks like.
And again, he's a 9th grader. He'll figure it out. But that's one when you see you're not going anywhere, instead of letting him take you down, go down. Force him to use the timeouts, because that again, that could be the kind of thing that comes back to haunt Wellesley in the long run.
So it'll be second down and 20, ball spot at the 36-yard line. Mayona back to throw and completes it, and still on his feet there. I believe that was White on the reception there.
Still about 10 yards short. I think we're looking at a 3rd and 10 here.
And Needham taking the timeout here with 2:25 to go. So another big third down coming up here, Carl, because you're right. If Wellesley could somehow pick up a first down, they could really sort of bleed the rest of this game out with only 2:25 to go. Needham down, I believe, to 2 timeouts now, or 2 or 3 timeouts, not sure. But it'll be a 3rd down 9 coming out of the timeout at the 49-yard line.
And we've said it time and again, play of the game right here. First down wins it for Wellesley. It's over.
Yeah, certainly does, as we'll see if Wellesley elects to go to the air here again on 3rd down and long. Now, obviously, the flip side of that is if they incomplete, that's a free timeout for Needham and the clock stops. So it's sort of.
Yeah, I think Needham still has 2 timeouts remaining.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
But this is it, guys.
This is key play right here, certainly for the Rockets and Raiders. As Wellesley looking to try to hang on for their 2nd win in a row against the Rockets. Will be the first time, I think, in a long time that they've won 2 years in a row against Needham. Again, still a little ways to go here. 2:25, 3rd down 9. Mayona, he's rolling, still on his feet, gets rid of it. Pass is complete to Moore, but
short of the first down by
he is short of the first down. Does stay in bounds, so the clock continues to run, but Needham will burn a timeout here. So
we got the punt coming up. The Rockets going to have one last shot with 2 minutes, 14 seconds and 1 timeout to go. And that's plenty of time.
And let's see if Wellesley here can maybe pin Needham back a little bit here and make him go the length of the field. It'll be a 4th down, and by the way, about 6 for the Rockets. For the Raiders.
Got to assume the Rockets are going to come hard after this punt.
I'm assuming they're going to try. They're going to bring everything but the kitchen sink to try to block this one.
And if the Raiders are successful in getting the punt off, the Rockets' field position will probably be between the 20 and 25.
Yep. So we will see. But again, this has been a tremendous football game here this afternoon, or this morning, I should say, Carl. And obviously, what more would you expect between these two teams? Who are down to the wire, final minute. This is what we live for in this rivalry. 130 years. The games are always seem to be very close, no matter the records.
Especially that first game at 1-0.
Yeah.
A lot of gaps up there. The Rockets are not looking for the punt block here. They're going to try and set up the return.
They have Andre back deep to punt, and a low snap, but Lindquist is able to get it away. And it'll take a Needham bounce there as it'll come to rest about the 20-yard line. So here we go. 80 yards to go for Needham. 2:04 on the clock.
1 timeout to play with.
1 timeout to go. 1 timeout left for the Rockets. So let's see what kind of magic does Ogletree and this Needham offense have in store here, Carl. They've turned the ball over 4 or 5 times, but yet they still have a chance here to at least tie the game. And
the nice thing in high school football, clock stops on a first down, clock stops when you go out of bounds, clock stops on an incomplete pass. So they've got plenty of time to get down the field.
Certainly, the Wellesley defense has been making a lot of noise, encouraging their defense here. 1st and 10 from the 20. Ogletree back to throw, taking some pressure. He's looking long. He's got a man out there, and it's tipped up in the air. It's picked off. It was tipped up in the air by Callahan, and Matt Mayona comes down with the interception, and that may have just sealed it with 1:50 to go. What a play there by Hugh Callahan. Got enough on that ball, kept it up in the air long enough, and Mayona able to come down with the pick, and Wellesley will take over.
I just conceded. I just put the roster into my back pocket. So, yeah, someone ran a wrong pattern there for the Rockets. You had Hibberts, and I wasn't sure. I think it was probably Andre in the exact same spot. They kind of banged into each other. Hibberts knocked it up high in the air, trying to get a tip, and all that did is open it up for the Raiders to get the ball.
But that still was a great play there by Callahan, going up and tipping that ball up long enough for Mayona to get the INT. So Mayona's done it on the offensive end, defensive end, and had himself quite a first, Thanksgiving game starting on both ends.
Yep. Now it's just a matter of the Raiders.
Because Needham only has one timeout.
Yeah. If they don't put the ball on the floor, they're fine. They'll call the timeout after this first play, and then 2 kneels will pretty much take care of the clock. Mayona's going to run it himself here and picks up decent yardage there as Needham's going to let this clock run. I thought Needham had 1 timeout left, but they're not using it on this play. Maybe waiting till 2nd or 3rd down before they use it. There's a gain of 6 on the play, and Wellesley's just going to let this clock bleed here as we come down under 1.5 minutes to go. And it looks like, barring something unforeseen, it'll be Wellesley maintaining the trophy this year for a 2nd year in a row. And Carl, if you look at the difference in this game, it's been the turnovers. Needham turned the ball over. You're not going to turn the ball over 4 times and expect to win a game. Yeah, 5
times. Yeah, you're 4 interceptions and a fumble. That's right. 5. You're not going to win a game with those kind of numbers.
They must not have any timeouts left because they didn't use one here either. So
unless they use it on this play, but that's only going to give them the ball back with
10 seconds to go, maybe.
I think Wellesley's going to run the play clock all the way down here themselves and maybe just burn a timeout.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yep,
there it is.
Wellesley's going to use the timeout to 31 seconds. And I just want to say to everybody watching at home and to all of our crew and all the fans in the stands at Carl, just happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It's always a fun time, like I said, to come out on Thanksgiving morning, watch one of the best, in our opinion, the best rivalry in high school football. And this has been a fun one. And again, thank you to our hardworking crew as always. And just been a really fun time, beautiful day, and just happy Thanksgiving, everybody, like I said.
Agreed. Ken couldn't have said it better. And this is the best one, the oldest and the best one.
Yeah.
Even though, we can be from opposite sides, I guess I'm going to lose this bet, so I'm going to have to eat all the turkey. I stuffed myself with turkey today. The crowd's starting to thin out a little bit. I think the writing's on the wall, and they're saying,
the Needham crowd starting across the way to sort of head for the exits here, get home, and
it's going to take a while to get home with this traffic.
And we always say that the turkey tastes better on the side of the victor, and it looks like it'll be tasting better for a 2nd year in a row here in Wellesley.
And that Wellesley defense, it played every bit as good as they could have.
And now Mayona was tackled in the backfield for loss. Now Needham will finally use that final timeout, 26 seconds. So the Rockets will get the ball one more time, folks. So don't hand out the trophy quite yet. They're going to get one last opportunity here. With probably about 20 seconds left after this punt.
And they're going to go hard to try and block this punt. They have to.
So Lindquist will come into punt once again.
Yeah, I wonder how long it's going to take to get home with all these cars here.
Seriously, you gonna be sitting in the parking lot for a while waiting to get out, and then you got all the people walking across the street. It's gonna.
Well, I walked here this morning from my house, which is about 5 miles, and it took me a little over an hour. So I'm thinking, do I walk home or do I? Well, would it be better to sit in the car for an hour? So it's going to be about the same home either way, I think.
So Lindquist again back into punt. Here comes Needham. They are not able to get to him as The punt will take a Wellesley bounce down to about the 30-yard line, and that's where we'll stop. 16 seconds, folks. So
3 plays left.
Yeah, Needham, and basically you got to go Hail Mary, Hail Mary, Hail Mary at this point.
They may only need one of those Hail Marys, though.
That is true. Yeah, you never know. I mean, and Carl, we've seen them. I mean, we've seen them get those, 2 50-plus yard touchdown passes already. So I mean, it is doable for this Needham offense. But as you can imagine, the Wellesley defense playing well back here and show that prevent style here. They're not, and now Wellesley takes a timeout, of course.
Of course. Well, what you see Wellesley with a 3-man rush, and then have the other 8 drop back in coverage. You could potentially see Needham maybe do a 15-yard out and then another 15-yard.
Maybe try
out.
to go to the sideline and give themselves a little bit more room to work with.
Yeah, that'd be my guess. And I think if you're Wellesley, you give them the 15-yard passes. Literally, it's 7 seconds of play.
You can't let anybody get behind you if you're Wellesley. That's the key defensively for Wellesley. Keep all the receivers in front of you, and try to keep them in bounds. Because again, Needham with no timeouts left. So I mean, one tackle in bounds that's short of a first down, and that could wrap it up. So
exactly. Yeah. No, so they've really got limited options. They've got to do out patterns. They've got to try and go for the home run ball. Those are the only things they can do. And I think they do a couple of outs.
So here we go, 16 seconds, 1st and 10 from the 31. Again, Wellesley playing back in that prevent mode here.
They're actually not. I mean, they're up like in their normal defense.
But Callahan is giving his man about a 10, 15-yard cushion here, and we have another whistle. I'm not sure what. Did Wellesley take another timeout? Yep, they took another timeout. So
this is one of the things I hate about high school. There's no need for 5 timeouts and a half because they use them on things like that.
So I think that's Wellesley's last timeout. It has to be.
I hope so. I mean, it's the last 16 seconds is going to take about 20 minutes to play.
Just getting a snap at 16 seconds, they've taken about 10 already.
All that does is now the Rockets need to come up with a different offensive play because Wellesley's going to prepared for what they had, the lineup they have, but no, they're coming out the exact same way.
All right, so finally here again, 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Rockets.
Looks like they're going to try and cut
everybody out. They do have a back in the backfield, but
looks like they're going to try and cut off the out patterns.
Man in motion is Hibberts. Ogletree back to throw. He's taking the pressure. He's hit. He's sacked. He is sacked. Clock is rolling. 10 seconds. Yeah, they got to get up and get a snap. 6, 5. They're not going to be able to get one off. 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's it. One more snap, and it'll fall incomplete. That'll do it. Wellesley has won the football game. Wait a minute. Hold on. We got
a player down on this as well.
We got Ogletree down. Well, the pass is incomplete, so the game should be over anyway.
Well, I think you had some.
Was there a flag on the play that I'm not seeing?
I think the ball was snapped maybe before the clock expired.
Right, but he threw it incomplete. So unless there's a penalty, this game should be over.
Yeah, unfortunately, you had fans and players on the field, so that could be a penalty that way.
Let's see. So let's see. The referees are huddling about it. Boy, between the referees and the timeouts, they do not want this game to end, folks.
I think what we could do is just call another. This is a referee timeout, apparently.
What's the call? I think they're saying that the play got off in time. It looks like from what they're remarking to Coach Davis, but then.
Yeah, they're talking to the Wellesley coach, which means it's not good news for Wellesley. Then you
so they're gonna. So it may have been a penalty. Maybe you're right. Maybe they're going to give unsportsmanlike conduct for rushing the field, or
no flags down.
Yeah, I didn't see any flag. That's the thing, is that I'm a little unclear as to what exactly the call is here. Because if there's no penalty, the game should be over because he threw an incomplete pass.
The referees call it. There's another timeout.
But they're moving the ball up, so it looks like
there had to be something. This is going to be an untimed play wherever it is.
Untimed down. They did not give any signal or anything, so it must have been a roughing the passer on sportsline. I know Ogletree got hurt.
He's back up though.
But is Ogletree out there? Because the trainer had to come out. So
which is another thing. When the trainer's out, he's supposed to be out for this play.
Right. So I don't think so. I don't know who's a quarterback right now for D.
No, it's Ogletree in there.
It is Ogletree.
Yeah, by rule, when you're down and the trainer comes out, you have to
come out for a play.
Yep, and that's from Coach Davis. I'm mentioning that piece of it. But we did.
I wonder if that. Yeah. Oh, here comes. Yeah, Ogletree's coming over to the sideline right now.
He's just going to get a play. No, who's number 7?
Max Sylvia is listed as a quarterback. Yeah, here he goes. So for the last play of the game, Needham's going to have their backup backup coming out here. So let's see. Max Sylvia, guess what? You get to come in for a play of the game, but it's the last play of the game. You're down by 3, and there's no time left on the clock.
Other than that, it should be easy.
So Sylvia back to throw. Throws it. It's complete to Smith. Now they got a lateral. Andre, and he gets knocked out. Now the game is over.
Are we sure? No more timeouts left?
Wellesley is storming the field as for the second year in a row, the Wellesley Raiders take home a thrilling Thanksgiving victory over the Needham Rockets. 23-20 is the final, and Carl, a very exciting game. So let's get through your final thoughts on today's game.
Well, I think when those Wellesley Raiders are over their Thanksgiving meals tonight, the first thing they're going to be thankful for is the sloppy game that the Rockets gave them today. This was really a game where the Wellesley defense really stepped up and played outstanding. The Rockets had nothing in the run game. Defensively, they had 5 picks. A great game defensively for the Raiders. Rockets going to go home and say to themselves, yep, we gave one away.
Yep, so the Raiders end their season at 6-5 on the year. Actually, both teams end their season at 6-5 on the year. As for the second year in a row, Wellesley wins this one by the final of 23-20, as they will take a 62-59 lead with 9 ties. As we're going to wrap it up here from Hunnewell Field for Carl Schofield, for our entire crew here on Thanksgiving Day. Thank you for joining us on both Wellesley Media and the Needham Channel, and we wish you a safe and happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next year.